And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Monday, folks. And how did that golden era of NBA playoff basketball treat us over the weekend, folks? The final 4 game days on Saturday, Sunday, and they kind of lived up to the hype a little bit, right? I mean, we had the Celtics game 3. That was great. That was exciting. We had the Warriors and the Nuggets, potential closeout game for the Warriors yesterday, and we've got ourselves a little bit of a potential series. The Suns Pelicans game 4 last night. Yeah, we definitely got ourselves a series in that one. So, wow. Oh, wow. Now, unfortunately, this week, teams will be winning their playoff series pretty much tonight. Celtics, Nets, game 4, and do we got stuff to talk about there, folks? Yes, oh my goodness, I'm chomping at the bit, folks. I truly am chomping at the bit to talk about this Nets news because it is so funny. It's everything that we have said. It's everything that we have, we've said it, folks. We've said it. Y'all know we've said it. We've doubled down, we've tripled down. The Nets are not good. We've known this, and we're going to be hearing from some people today, folks, and even they kind of knew it, folks, which is like, yeah, we've been trying to tell y'all. So let's save it a little bit, but just know we are chomping at the bit, folks. Celtics go to close out tonight, and they would be the only one, folks, I'm getting ahead of myself, but so far, every single NBA team that's in the playoffs has won a game. The Nuggets have won a game. The Bulls have won a game, folks. Do you understand? The Bulls beat the Bucks, and now we get the Nets potentially going out with no bang, no fight, down 4-0 potentially after tonight. Swept. The official only sweep potentially of the first round. So cannot wait. We'll talk all that through, folks. I promise y'all we will talk everything about the Nets. But today on the show, breaking down the games from yesterday, betting on the games tonight, and once again, it's going to get less and less playoff basketball on every single night, which is truly unfortunate, but it's going to probably start tonight. So betting on the games tonight, making the most money while we still can, folks. And then in the NFL, there's a quick couple of stories to talk about. We are officially in draft week, folks, and we are about 4 days away from the draft with one draft prospect looked at. Not really where we wanted to be, but we may do something on Thursday's show. We may have a longer show on Thursday. We may still have a draft show. I'm still weighing options. So we'll see how all that plays out. Stick to our Twitter and stick to the show. We'll let you know what is going down. But we may be able to squeeze in Kenny Pickett today. We are going to absolutely try, and we should be able to, barring one potential thing. We do have to take a call today, folks, and I apologize for that. And this isn't one of those, quick calls, that sometimes pop up on the show. I just need to hear some information for 3 seconds and get right back on the mic. This one may take a couple of minutes. So if that does arise, we will stop the show and resume it a little bit later, but this will only affect if you are watching and listening live. If it's not live, if it's already on Spotify, if it's already on YouTube, then we've already edited it out, so no worries there. But potential for the live audience here, we are anticipating a very, very great call, folks. Very, very great call. Great news for the show, great news for me, and we will let y'all know on that a little bit later, potentially. Maybe I don't even tell y'all. Do I even tell y'all? Of course I'll tell you, but maybe not right now. But just big news coming. Big news coming. Big news. Big news. All right, but let's kick off the show here. Let's start in the NBA, and then we will transition to the NFL. But let's start here with the NBA from last night and start breaking down that the last 4-day game action of this NBA playoff year. Unfortunate. But it was great while it lasted, folks. Once again, revel in it while it's happening. Let's live in the moment. Yes, and I was living in the moment all weekend, folks. 8 games over 2 days. Sheesh. Yes. But here we go. First game up, Bucks at the Bulls, and once again, the Bucks are handling their business. Once again, game 3 and game 4, this is, what it should have been like games 1 and game 2. I never understood why the Bulls were winning in some of those games 1 and game 2, why they won game 1, or they won game 2, absolutely stupid. But Bucks back here dominating without Chris Middleton. A little interesting that it took no Chris Middleton for this Bucks team to truly get into this rhythm. So is Chris Middleton holding this team back a little bit? I don't think so, but the Bucks are finally doing what they're supposed to be doing, even missing their number 2. It doesn't matter. This is how bad the Bulls were. We've been known this, folks. And once again, what do we have to swallow? 4.5? 4.5 points last night by the Bucks? Okay, we took that. We hit it. We bet it. Bingo, bango. Bucks win 119-95, a 24-point win series heading back to Milwaukee for game 5. And absolutely, that's going to be the closeout game. This should have been a 4-0 sweep, but the Bucks gave the Bulls a game. And once again, the Bulls won a game. The Nets are up for sweepification, folks. A potential 4-0 sweep going down in the first round of the playoffs, and that would be the only sweep of the first round if it does happen. And once again, this was the scary team y'all were talking about. The only team that gets swept in the playoffs, that's the scary team. Folks, we've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all didn't listen to us. And folks, I get it. You all have your own opinions, your own thoughts and everything like that. But when we present you facts, and then the same fact the following day, and then the same fact but in new form the next week, and we keep talking about it. The more we talk about it, the more we see it, the more we truly believe in it. That's why we keep talking about it. That's why we're here every single day, to truly track all the narratives, to see what is going on, when are people saying things, why are people saying things, what is happening when people say things, it's just happening, when do we see the turn from good to bad? When do we see the turn from bad to good? We track that every single day, folks. We talk everything every single day. What is happening? So we all just have to, once again, take the information, folks. I change my mind. Sometimes y'all win your arguments, what y'all say. Sometimes, not most of the times, because, truly, once again, we do know what we're talking about. So usually we're on the right side. But when we are on the wrong side here or there, we still listen to y'all. Y'all got to keep the ears open. Yes, stop fighting us every step of the way. When we make good points for a month in a row, 2 months in a row. We've been at this whole Nets Celtics thing for 2 months in a row. Yeah, maybe it's finally time to come over on our side, right? And that's what everybody's doing, folks. Everybody's walking everything back on the Nets. But once again, we are getting ahead of ourselves. We're not at that portion yet, but just keep in mind that the Bulls did not get swept, folks, okay? That is truly the one thing y'all need to keep. I want this data point in your minds, at the forefront of your mind. The Bulls stole a game on the road in Milwaukee. The Nets can't even win one at home. Keep that in mind, folks. Yes, I need y'all to do that, because I will be bringing up that point the entire offseason, because everybody's already making the case right now. They're already laying the groundwork. Once again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but they're already laying the groundwork of this upcoming offseason of building up the Nets. Oh, Ben Simmons, he's going to be right next year. They're going to be cohesive in this offseason. They're going to be working this offseason, so they're good next season. They're already gearing up for that, folks. So every time y'all bring up, hey, the Nets will be good next year, I'm just going to point out to this, hey, the Bulls won a game in Milwaukee. That's the only thing I'll say, because that's the only thing I need to say, and we're done with that. And I will probably mute y'all out for keep hounding on the Nets being good. If they're good, then they'll be good, and I'll believe it when I see it. But I'm not going another 6 months of trying to believe, all right, now's the time the Nets are going to be good. We are not doing any of that over here. I can guarantee you that. But let's get back to this Bucks-Bulls game. Bucks get the 24-point win, 119-95 last night. Giannis doing his thing, 32 points, 7 assists, 10 rebounds. Bobby Portis still filling in at the 3 for Chris Middleton and freaking, I love this Bucks team, folks. Bobby Portis is just so fantastic. 14 points, 10 rebounds. That great offensive producer and defensive producer. So, yeah, maybe they don't even need Chris Middleton, right? Right? It's real interesting, folks, that the Bucks are just dominating without him. So, but Bobby Portis, fantastic. We had Brook Lopez still playing the 5, 2 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Drew Holiday, 26 points, 7 assists, and then Grayson Allen off the bench. Yeah. Ever since Grayson Allen's kind of come off the bench here in this series, he's been looking like the first month of the season Grayson Allen, and that Grayson Allen was absolutely fantastic. Offensive production. He was kind of like the third scoring option a little bit. Maybe, obviously went Giannis, Chris Middleton, then Grayson Allen. Maybe you even could have put Grayson Allen at the 2 the first 3 weeks of the season. He was playing at that high of a level, and it came out again last night. 27 points, 2 rebounds, but 6 of 7 from the 3. Shot 83% on 12 shots. Yeah, we will take that all day and tomorrow. Well done by Grayson Allen. And if he's playing at this high of level, because I am about to say something maybe a little bit later on the show, I may declare the Celtics my new NBA champions. Now, we do have the Bucks as our NBA champions when we walked through it before the playoffs started, but just watching how well the Celtics played, this Bucks team moving on to the next round potentially without Chris Middleton, I may make the switch. I don't know if I'm 100% committed to it, but if I say it, we will be committed to it, but I am kind of mulling that over. Am I going to switch to the Celtics after round 1, or are we going to keep it rocking here with the Bucks? But if Grayson Allen plays like this and keeps playing like this, yeah, I don't think we need a switch. But shout out to the Celtics. They need more respect. Even today, everybody's just talking about the Nets. Nobody's really giving credit to the Celtics. They're all saying, hey, it's really the Nets that lost the series. No Ben Simmons and the whole Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving thing, Steve Nash, all that. They're the ones that lost this series, not the Celtics going out and winning the series. So we need a little bit more respect on the Celtics still. How crazy is this? They're up 3-0 in the series. We've been begging for y'all to give them more respect, and y'all still don't give them respect. What is going on there? So let's start respecting the Celtics more, and I may declare them as my NBA champions this season. We'll see how the rest of the show goes, folks. So yeah, Grayson Allen, absolutely fantastic. Pat Connaughton not really doing the greatest, 5.6 rebounds, it's okay, but Grayson Allen truly popped off last night off the bench. So everybody gets it done for the Bucks last night, and then for the Bulls, once again, DeMar DeRozan not doing anything, 23 points on 40% shooting. The man took 5 threes last night, uncharacteristic by him, and made none of them. Yikes, getting desperate here, having DeMar DeRozan shoot 5 threes in a game. Didn't pan out. We had Vucevic, only 11 points, 10 rebounds. He shot 1 of 6 from the 3. Yikes, 35% on 14 shots. Another double yikes there. We had Zach Levine, 24 points, 13 assists. Zach Levine hit a couple of threes in the first quarter, and that was basically it. He went 2 of 6 from the 3, hitting them early in the first quarter to get a little bit of a lead, and then that was really it. The Bulls fold, like we all know. I mean, look at this bench production, folks. Kobe White has been letting us down this entire series. 2 points, 2 assists on 20% shooting. Tristan Thompson only played 5 minutes off the bench. Derrick Jones Jr., 5 points on 5 shots. Ayo Dosunmu, 8 points on 7 shots. Javonte Green, 2 points on 5 shots. So once again, what we've known all season long, they've got no other role players to help out. They don't have any depth, and that's why we knew this Bulls team were frauds. Yes. Now, again, I still don't understand why they're still rocking with Alex Caruso at their starting 1. Switch it up. You're getting absolutely dominated by this Bucks team. Switch it up. Experiment with the lineups. I mean, you're going game 5 in Milwaukee. You've got nothing to lose. I do not want to see Alex Caruso in the starting lineup. Either use Ayo at the 1 or use Kobe White at the 1. You've been using them both at the 1 this entire year, and you've been getting great production out of them. We saw Kobe White in the starting lineup. He's like double the amount of wins than he does have losses in the starting lineup. Ayo Dosunmu, he was in the starting lineup when Alex Caruso was out, and you were still getting great levels of production. So stop it with the Alex Caruso. Stop it with him in the starting lineup. You have nothing else to lose. Experiment. Give it a go. Go out with a bang. Switch it up, and let's see if Kobe White or Ayo Dosunmu in the starting lineup can take advantage of no Chris Middleton and get it, try to come back 3-1 in this deficit of the series. Try something else. I'm sick of seeing Alex Caruso in the starting lineup getting absolutely destroyed. So, Bulls, they're done. The series is over. Should have been a sweep, but it is going to be a gentleman's sweep 4-1. Milwaukee gets the win last night, 119-95. All right, here we go. Next game up here, and the Nuggets down 3-0 in the series at home for Game 4. Need a win to extend the series, and that's exactly what they got. Nuggets get the big-time win, 126-121 last night. Fantastic job by the Nuggets. We did not see this coming. We called the Warriors -2.5 last night. We thought it was going to be an official sweep, but the Nuggets show out and show up for one more game to extend the series. Jokic had a great night, 37 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. The man shot 66% on the field on 21 shots and 3 of 5 from the 3. Absolutely fantastic. Monte Morris absolutely won this game for the Nuggets. 24 points, 5 assists, but 5 of 7 from the 3. And Monte Morris was making all the threes when the Warriors were making all the threes. We know the Warriors go on multiple runs throughout the game. That is their game. Steph Curry, the splash triplets, y'all already know. They love to shoot the 3. They're very good at it, and that's what the Warriors are. They don't have that established big. They like to live and die by the 3. We all know that's them. So, Warriors went on a little bit of a run. The Nuggets had a big lead. The Warriors were going on one of their classic 3-point barrage runs a little bit late in the second quarter, and Monte Morris was kind of going tit for tat with them. Curry'd make one. It was more Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson made one. Monte Morris said, all right, yeah, I could do the same thing as you just did. Klay Thompson makes another one. Monte Morris is like, I told y'all I can keep up pace. I'm not tripping. Klay Thompson makes another one. Monte Morris is like, I've been telling y'all, yes, I can go tit for tat with y'all. Anything you can do, I can do better. What's good? Should we rebrand this as the Splash Quintuplets? That's how Monte Morris was playing last night. Like he was auditioning to be a Splash quadruplet, yes? So, Monte Morris in that nice, great stretch late in the second quarter really kind of won them the game. It kept their lead, didn't make their lead any smaller, and they were able to hold on and cling to that rubber banding lead for the rest of the second half. So, shout out to Monte Morris, 24 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Aaron Gordon gave us his 20-piece that we've been asking for all year long. 21 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, so all that was great. And then off the bench, Bones Highland, another huge reason why they won this game as well. Bones Highland went on a nice run, 3 of 6 from the 3 for 15 points and 7 assists and 4 rebounds coming off the bench. And his nice run, once again, kind of lined up with a Warriors 3-point barrage run to silence their momentum, because that is the most deadliest thing in the NBA, folks. Warriors with momentum, and the Nuggets were able to extinguish that momentum twice in this game, and that's why they won. Now, they did it at home. Doing it in Golden State is a totally different beast, folks, and it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to kind of overcome 2 great Warriors runs at home. So, I don't think the Nuggets are going to end up winning this series, reverse sweeping them. I do not see that happening, but the potential MVP doesn't get swept. That is basically what they were kind of playing for last night, and kind of what they're just playing for the rest of the series. Jokic, obviously, getting slandered on social media, in the national media, for being the MVP and then getting quote-unquote swept, but he avoided that last night, so that's going to definitely help Jokic's MVP resume and everything like that. We don't have to hear this entire offseason, oh my god, y'all chose Jokic as back-to-back MVPs, and then he gets swept in the first round like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving will tonight and all that, so at least we don't have to hear the entire that spiel this entire offseason, Jokic can hopefully enjoy his MVP in peace, because I think he kind of deserves it. So Jokic had a great night. Monte Morris had a great night. Bones Highland had an exceptional night. And then DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench, 10 points, 4 rebounds, only 10 minutes coming off the bench. But once again, his production very, very good with Jokic out. So everybody truly stepped up here for the Nuggets to steal one game. Don't know if they're going to be able to relive that again in game 5 and 6 and 7. It's going to be tough. I guess they could do it, but we haven't really seen that great consistency by the Nuggets this entire season, and that's why, they're in the spot that they are in, because they haven't been this great and this consistent this entire regular season. So, Nuggets get the win, 126-121. We forgot to talk about the Warriors, so let's not wrap up this game just quite yet. Let's talk about this Warriors team, and all right, the experimentation, I think, is over. The fun is over. The experimentation, it's done. Let's get into, playoff mode, championship mode, and all that. Let's put Steph Curry back in the starting lineup, right? We love Jordan Poole. This is not a knock or anything on Jordan Poole. We call him the Splash Triplets, and everybody's still calling them the Splash Brothers, and that's fine. I just want to differentiate between the kind of dynasties, if you will. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they are the OG Splash Brothers. I don't want Jordan Poole to kind of interfere with that. That was like a 5-6 year stretch, folks. I mean, they really coined the phrase. They put the Warriors on the map. They started this, really. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Now, Jordan Poole can add to that, but I think it should be like a whole different thing now. We're in this new era. Let's not kind of mix eras and give, Jordan Poole some, phony credit for being quote unquote a Splash Brother. That's why we refer to it as Splash Triplets, because it's a different era. This is a new potential dynasty. This is now a big 4 instead of a big 3. The Splash Brothers were kind of a big 3. Draymond Green was kind of the lifeguard, and Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, they were the Splash Brothers. But now we got Splash Triplets with a lifeguard. This is a new era. So that's why we differentiate between the two. We got no problem if you call everybody Splash Brothers, but we will differentiate here on the show. So, we love Jordan Poole, absolutely, but let's get this man back down to the bench. Didn't play the best last night. Jordan Poole was a little hesitant in shooting, and that's fine. Once again, you've got great shooters. You don't need to jack up shots and everything like that, so he still had 9 assists. He led the team in assists last night. Jordan Poole, 9 assists, fantastic. But he didn't shoot well. 1 of 5 from the 3, shot 30% on 10 shots. Once again, hesitation there. And the Warriors play great when there's no hesitation, when they're playing loosey-goosey. And that's what really hurt the Warriors last night. Jordan Poole was hesitant, and even Steph Curry was hesitant. It didn't maybe look like it in the box stats. 33 points, 8 assists, 4 steals, 3 rebounds, looking good in the stats. But just watching him shoot the 3, he was hesitant. He was like pump faking like 3 or 4 times before initially shooting the 3. It's like, that's not what Steph Curry does. He catch and shoot, dribble behind the back, pull up, step back, shoot. No hesitation there. But Jordan Poole hesitating, Steph Curry hesitating, and they combined 4 of 16 from 3. Not great. Klay Thompson was on his bullshit, 32 points, 7 of 11 from 3, but he was the only one not pump faking, not hesitating, shooting the 3, and he was the one that shot a 63% from the 3. Fantastic. So let's put Steph Curry back in the starting lineup. Let's stop this hesitation. Let's get kind of the rotation in chemistry a little bit back on track here. Steph Curry's just got to be the starter. I mean, it's all great by Jordan Poole. It's great by Steph Curry. This is leadership. This is true team camaraderie. Absolutely. But, a little bit of enough is enough. We know Steph Curry's better than Jordan Poole. That is not a debate. That is not a discussion. We know this. Steph Curry coming back from that injury, doing it the right way, coming off the bench, getting more increased minutes every single game. Yes, but that is done. He is back at almost 100% strength. Looking at 100% healthy right here. Get the man back in the starting lineup. Let's have Jordan Poole keeping the same minutes here. Still give him 35, 36, 38 minutes off the bench here. But let's have Steph Curry coming out initially, rocking with the starters. You can still have them, running 3 on the floor together. Absolutely. But let's get Steph Curry back in the starting lineup. Let's get back off to those hot-ass starts. Let's stop the hesitation from 3. And let's play loosey-goosey great Warriors basketball. Yes? So it's a little bit of enough here now. Yes, it was great. It was a story, feel good. This is what a team is. Unlike the Nets, that is not a team where you have two great superstars that think they can get it done by themselves and then make excuses when they don't get it done themselves and never get any great production from the role players. That's what a non-team looks like. This Warriors team is a true team. So we love all of it, but let's get Steph Curry back in the starting lineup, please, because you're losing against the Nuggets. Not great. Not able to kind of, do those Warrior-esque runs because everybody's hesitating. Steph Curry, let's get him back in the starting lineup. But they all played great. Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, all great. Draymond Green, 13 points, 6 assists, 11 rebounds. Once again, locking up Jokic down late in this game. Warriors, had a lead, 1 point lead going back and forth with maybe the final 2 minutes left. Just couldn't really clutch it up. That's where the Nuggets clutched it up at. So we still give credit to the Nuggets, absolutely, but this Warriors team, even with all the hesitation, still almost won this game. That's how great this Warriors team is. So Draymond Green doing his thing like always reliable. And then Andrew Wiggins, 20 points, 6 rebounds. Didn't really love how he played down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Thought he beefed it a couple of times. But overall, solid production, 20 points, 6 rebounds. Trying to look a little bit more like his all-star phase during the season. Because we've seen two sides of Andrew Wiggins. The great side that won the All-Star vote, which we definitely believe he should have. We championed for that. But then after the All-Star break, he's, a little bit of Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. The not good side came out after the All-Star break. But slowly but surely working back up toward his level of production as an All-Star. So Warriors just shortly missed the mark last night, and we'll see what Steve Kerr does with the lineups heading back to Golden State for Game 5. But the Nuggets extend the series by winning 126-121 last night. Alrighty, here we go. Next game up, we got the Heat at the Hawks, and the Heat take care of business here. And once again, we bet the Heat last night. Didn't have to swallow that many points. And, this is why. We knew the Hawks weren't going to match that performance in Game 3. This Hawks team, they're on runs like this. This is not a consistent team. That's why they're the 8th seed. Had to play in the play-in tournament because you're not consistent. And once again, consistency is key. Even Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant admitted that after their loss in Game 3. They were like, the Celtics have had all this time to gel together. The Nets, we never had the chance to gel together. We rarely played on the floor together. And, you guys are asking us to win in the playoffs. They're starting to, temper down expectations because that's what everybody does when they were talking all that shit and then get kind of exposed a little bit. Everybody likes to soften the blow, be like, well, the Celtics, they were a whole team this entire year. We weren't. We lost James Harden. I couldn't play home games, all that. Ben Simmons not there. So how do you expect us to win? And that's what we were saying all year long. How do you expect this Nets team to win? But y'all kept saying that they were going to win. So stop it with that. We love consistency. Once again, that's why we do the show every single day. We're seeing every single game, every single player, how they're winning, how they're losing. Are they consistent? Why do they lose? How do they lose? All of that. We know this Hawks team is just not consistent. And it showed last night because the Heat dominate, winning 110-86. Was that 24-point win right there? Easy peasy, and we'd only had to swallow 3-4 points last night. Easy peasy. I think that was even high. I think it was only like Heat minus 1.5. Stupid value. So he get it done. They lead the series 3-1, heading back to Miami, and this one seems like it is over as well. And we kind of even knew this one was over even when the Hawks won Game 3. Once again, we didn't think it was that impressive. It was great. Trae Young was clutch. That was all good and well. But overall, for what the series is, yeah, we knew it was over. So he get it done last night. Jimmy Butler did his thing, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, shot 57% on 21 shots. Jimmy Butler kind of taking over. No Kyle Lowry last night at the 1, so Gabe Vincent fills in for him at the 1. 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the 3. Pretty great work. And then Jimmy Butler, that was kind of, one of our questions yesterday on the show, who was going to kind of step up and, take and fill in that Kyle Lowry role? Was it going to be where the Heat going to play kind of everybody spreading the ball around, equal production by everybody, or was somebody going to kind of take over and be the true superstar of the game? And that was Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler's gone manic twice in this series, where once again, that's not really Jimmy Butler's game. So Jimmy Butler being hyper aggressive in this year's playoffs, we'll see if it's a different outcome than the bubble Heat that was a little bit more team oriented, not Jimmy Butler kind of going off every single game. So Jimmy Butler got it done. Gabe Vincent filling in for Kyle Lowry getting it done. Max Strus still in the starting lineup, 12 points on 4 of 14 from the three. Definitely needs to be, clean that up a little bit, but overall still good. Bam Adebayo, still waiting for the Bam Adebayo game. He only had 14 points, 8 rebounds. Once again, that's a little light on what we expect from Bam Adebayo, what we can see out of Bam Adebayo. I mean, PJ Tucker put up the same amount of points Bam Adebayo did. They almost had the same stats, folks. PJ Tucker, 14 points, 8 rebounds. And PJ Tucker even had more assists than Bam Adebayo. So we're still waiting for the Bam Adebayo game. And maybe we don't get it. How crazy would that be? We get no Bam Adebayo dominant big game? Interesting. So everybody in the starting lineup got it done for the Heat. The bench truly was lackluster. Tyler Hero, 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 5 from the 3. What the hell is that? 6th man of the year, right? We'll give you this one down game, but let's, keep it in the back of our mind like we can't be having these down games, especially next round when the playoffs, you're going to face better competition than the Hawks, okay? The Hawks aren't that great of a team. You can go 1 of 8 and still win by 24 points. So let's lock in this consistency a little bit more. Tyler here, okay, this was like really the only time he's floundered, so we're not weighing it that much, but we don't want this to be his consistent here. 1 of 8. This cannot be it. Duncan Robinson, 1 shot in 9 minutes. We had Victor Oladipo playing 23 minutes. He had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Light work by Victor Oladipo, getting kind of, some burn here because no Kyle Lowry. So it all plays out for the Heat. Once again, they're very deep and they're very well coached. 2 great things that you need to make a playoff push, and that's exactly what the Heat are doing right now. They lose Game 3, still on the road, and absolutely obliterate Game 4. The Heat are fine, folks. The Heat are going to be good next round of the playoffs as well. And who they got to face? Let's quickly take a look. If the Heat win, they are most likely facing the 76ers, and they may be able to beat that 76ers team, folks. They may be able to be the ones to find a way to lock up Joel Embiid. So next round, the Heat, folks, don't sleep on the Heat, folks. If y'all are sleeping on the Heat, and I don't think you are sleeping on the Heat, but don't sleep on the Heat if you are sleeping on the Heat. They may go to the Eastern Conference Finals, beating the 76ers in round 2. So they got it done for the Heat last night, and then for the Hawks, it's just Trae Young not being able to repeat these performances. And honestly, I had to take a quick look at Trae Young's overall stats because I thought he took a step back from last season to this season, statistically wise, but overall that's really not the case. The only true drop-off performances that we see by Trae Young are in the playoffs, which is not good, but overall he still had a really good overall season. So last year when they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Hawks were the talk of the town and Trae Young was kind of the new superstar that was kind of emerging in this league that we were all going to talk about for years to come and, debate, who's better, Trae Young or this guy. Trae Young was kind of that new star in the league. So last year, Trae Young averaged 25 points, 9 assists, and about 4 rebounds a game. This year, he's averaging 28 points, 9 rebounds, and still about 4 rebounds a game. So the only thing that's really changed from last season to this season is an increase in point totals, but a lesser overall record and a lesser overall seed. So it's really not Trae Young that's floundering, just statistically wise. It's really everybody else. Everybody else's level of production has kind of gone down in the regular season, but in the playoffs, we have not gotten that greatness out of Trae Young that we saw last year in the playoffs. I mean, look at some of these performances last year in the playoffs, folks. We had 32 and 10, 32 points, 10 assists. We had 21 points, 14 assists, 27 points, 9 assists, 30 36 points, 9 assists, 30 points, 7 assists, and that's all round 1 against the Knicks. And then round 2 against the 76ers, 35 and 10, 21 and 11, 28 and 8, 25 and 18, 39 and 7, 34 and 12, 21 and 10. Those are magnificent numbers. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, look at these numbers. Game 1 on the road in Milwaukee, 48 and 11. Oh my goodness, stealing game 1 on the road against the Bucks, the team that won it all last year. How great. What a magnificent, great superstar all-time performance. Then he also goes 34 and 4. He ended the series, game 6, 14 and 9. But overall, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and having all those, I mean, what is that, 7, 8, 9 great performances by Trae Young in last year's playoffs? But then look at the numbers this season in the playoffs. 8 and 4, game 1. Ooh, yikes. 25 and 7, which is good, but not as good as he was last year. 24 and 8, 9 and 5. Ooh, yikes. So, we haven't gotten that great playoff performer Trae Young, and that's really what's should be the talk of the town. A lot of people are kind of knocking Trae Young, especially Skip Bayless. He's kind of going in a little bit on Trae Young, but Trae Young, I think he's been kind of doing the same thing as really everybody else is. You know, John Collins was still out for this season. Clint Capella, we never really kind of got that next step out of him. We had Bogdanovich going down to the bench. Not giving us kind of that same great performances in the starting lineup. So I think a lot of the Hawks blame, I don't know if it truly deserves to be on Trae Young for the regular season. Now in the playoffs, yes, we can blame Trae Young because we've gotten 2 really, really garbage performances. One last night going 9 points, 5 assists on 27% shooting. I mean, that can definitely not happen in the playoffs, especially when you're down in the series, having a chance to tie it up 2-2 going into game 5. We can definitely not be having these performances, but I don't know if we should be drilling Trae Young as much as maybe y'all have. So I would say to rein it in a little bit, but we'll see, what happens in game 5 and all that. So Trae Young, nothing great last night, 9 points, 5 assists, not good. We had Kevin Huerter, 4 points on 14% shooting. That's not good either. Once again, it's not just Trae Young floundering here. It's everybody. Clint Capella, 2.7 boards. I mean, why are we not getting Clint Capella more involved offensively? And I know this is his first game back, so you still have to take it a little bit slow. I get it. Another reason why I don't know if we should blame Trae Young so much this season. Once again, Clint Capella couldn't play in the first 3 games, all of that. So, you can knock Trae Young. I'm not saying you can't knock him. That's fine. But I don't know if we should be going as drastic as maybe some of y'all have been going. We had Deandre Hunter, best performance last night, 24 points, 3 rebounds, a man shot 4 of 6 from the 3, 69% on 13 shots. All that was looking great. John Collins, once again, always in and out of the lineup. No consistency here, right? Another reason, maybe soften the blow a little bit on Trae Young, just a tad. We had John Collins, 11 points, 2 boards, nothing great. And then the bench, Bogdanovich, 4 points, 0 of 3 from the 3. Delon Wright, 7 points on 6 shots. Danilo Gallinari, 9 points, but 0-4 from the 3. That's all coming off the bench. So this Hawks team, they were kind of really good top down. Trae Young was that great leader, always finding, the open player, and the players always being open, and that's just really not the case this season. So the Hawks are truly going to be on notice next season. We had a great season. We had a little underperforming, lackluster season, and now what is the tiebreaker, 3rd season in this kind of 3-season stretch. So Hawks will be on notice next season, and it does seem like they're heading into next season because the Heat get the win 110-86 and now lead 3-1 in the series. Alrighty, and then the final game of the night, and yikes, big concerns here for this team. Suns, oh my goodness, got a little obliterated last night, folks. Not good. Pelicans absolutely dominate, 118-103, a 15-point win for the Pelicans to tie up the series 2-2. Wow. And we still thought the Suns were going to win last night. We bet the Suns minus, 2.5, 3.5. We bet that last night. That doesn't pan out, but the Suns are truly missing Devin Booker. And, we knew they would miss Devin Booker, but we saw how they played in Game 3. Chris Paul was able to kind of pick up the production. It wasn't Cameron Johnson. And once again, it's still not Cameron Johnson getting it done. So this Suns team truly missing Devin Booker, and now seeing Chris Paul being exposed this season. This is the first time we've seen Chris Paul exposed. We've seen him already 2 times in the series go manic in the fourth quarter, take over in the fourth quarter, and that's why they won those games. But now seeing Chris Paul can get locked down like we knew we would be seeing in this series, now I think we're officially flipping off, folks. I think I'm all in on the Pelicans, and wow, heading into Game 5, tie series in Phoenix now for Game 5, we may be getting some absolutely great value come tomorrow. I think this series resumes tomorrow. We may be getting absolutely fantastic value, because if we're getting like Pelicans plus 3, 4, 5 points, I don't think it will be 5. I think it may be like Pelicans plus 3 on the road. I am loving that value. We've seen this Pelicans kind of grit travel very well this season. The big 3 can travel very well. So if we're getting points, I already think they may win the game. If they're getting points, that's where the value is going to be. So we'll see when we talk about this game, Game 5 coming up next. We won't spoil anything now, but watch out for that Pelicans value. I'm already kind of chomping at the bit to bet those points. I know those points are going to be coming. Hopefully they should be coming, because we know Vegas is still probably attached to the Suns team. I doubt Vegas is going to unattach itself from this Suns team. I don't see that happening. So we may be able to get some great value, and I'm loving it. Like if it's 5, folks, bet the house. An interesting value to look at today is going to be what this Mavericks value is going to be at home against the Jazz here. Game 5. With Luka back. He was back last game, still plus 6, ending stupid. But we'll see what that spread is, and we may be able to get some great spread out of this series. So yes, the Suns may not win the series, but hey, we can still cash out, folks. So this series is still interesting. It's interesting because it's 2-2, but it's interesting because we can maybe get some really great value betting-wise. But let's start here with the Pelicans since they got the win last night. Let's start with their big 3. CJ McCollum, 18 points, only 2 assists and 9 rebounds, and he didn't shoot the best. 2 of 9 from the 3, 38% on 21 shots. That is definitely not a CJ McCollum game, but it didn't matter because the other big 3 had his back. Valanciunas, 26 points, 15 rebounds, shooting 60%. Yeah. See, we challenged Valanciunas after that really lackluster performance in the series, and what has he done? He answered the call every other time. The man was a plus 19 on the floor in 32 minutes, the highest plus minus on the floor. Yeah. Valanciunas truly reestablishing himself here in this big 3. So well done to Valanciunas. And then Brandon Ingram going manic in this game, 30 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Didn't shoot the best, 47% on 23 shots, but made some big time shots when they mattered. And that's exactly what Brandon Ingram gives us. And once again, this is the debate, folks. Brandon Ingram again outscoring CJ McCollum again in this series. It's not as clear cut and dry as maybe some of you make it out to be. CJ McCollum the 1, Brandon Ingram the 2. No. Give Brandon Ingram his kind of number 1 respect here of this big 3. And then we had Herbert Jones, another great crucial piece. He was locking up defensively all game long. 13 points, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 boards, and he only took 7 shots. So Herbert Jones, knowing his place, just locking it in, locking everybody up on the Suns defensively, and that's really why they won. And once again, Chris Paul small. We said this earlier, folks, in this series. He's small. That's why it was concerning that they were leaning so heavily on Chris Paul to go manic in the fourth quarter. We knew that wasn't going to be sustainable, and we saw that last night. This is big time concerning for the Suns, folks. 2-2. I think I'm flipping, and now on the Pelicans side of winning this series, the Suns desperately need Devin Booker. He is their primary scorer, and honestly, really their only good, consistent scorer, folks. We can't believe in Mikal Bridges. We can't believe in Cameron Johnson. We can't believe in Chris Paul. Jay Crowder doesn't score like that. We can rely on DeAndre Ayton, but they really didn't exploit them as much as they probably should have last night. Now, Deandre Hunter did take the most shots, 14 shots, but we still need that more. I mean, look at what like a number one option takes. Brandon Ingram, 23 shots. CJ McCollum, 21 shots. That's Devin Booker. Nobody else on the Suns team takes those shots like Devin Booker does. Mikal Bridges doesn't be taking 20 shots a game. Cameron Johnson, he's not good enough to be taking 20 shots a game off the bench or in the starting lineup. Chris Paul, that's not his game either. I facilitate the floor and score when I only absolutely need to. Jay Crowder can't even imagine putting up 20 shots in a game. So this is truly big time concerning for the Suns, folks. And there's no way, I'm not seeing any way as of this moment, folks, as of right now, 4/25/2022 at 12:44 p.m. There is no way that the Suns team can win the ring this year without Devin Booker. They need that lethal score, that just score, folks. When we think of just a score, do we think of Chris Paul as a scorer? Do we think of Cameron Johnson as a good, consistent scorer? Jay Crowder's not a scorer. Mikal Bridges, he's all over the place. He's not a primary scorer, shooter. So this is big time concerning. The Suns have a lot of pieces. This is a deep team. Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, Torrey Craig, JaVale McGee. I mean, we've got a squad here off the bench, but do you think of scores? When you hear all those names, you think of good role players, not scores. Make up for a number one score. These are not the names to do that, folks. And we see that. Cameron Johnson last night in the starting lineup, 31 minutes, 13 points? 13 points, that's it. A minus 19 on the floor, the worst by the team. Classic, we've known this. 3 of 7 from the three, 33% on 12 shots. Not great. This is not Devin Booker-esque, and you must be Devin Booker-esque if you want to compete and be a true number one seed in the Western Conference. You need Devin Booker. This is not good, folks. This is truly not good moving forward for this Suns team. They need that score, and they don't have it. Chris Paul only took 8 shots and shot 25%. 0 of 3 from the 3, 2 of 8 from the field. Locked up, undersized, small, locked up. They knew it was finally coming. We talked about that, folks. That's why Chris Paul goes matic in the fourth quarter, because he lulls everybody on the defense into a false sense of security. Oh, Chris Paul's not going to take this shot. He passes it. We've seen it 3 straight quarters. Every single time he's not shooting the ball. So you get lulled into that in the fourth quarter. And then when he does go and actually shoot the ball, you're caught off guard, can't defend it. Or it takes a while for you to get the right defense to stop it. And he already did it twice in this series. The Pelicans will eventually stop it. This is a smart, well-coached team. That's why they were able to overcome all the obstacles and come out of a play-in tournament to be this 8th seed and tie the series up 2-2. This is a smart, very well-coached team that all buys in to themselves, really. The role players, the big three, they all buy into each other. And you see it on the floor. You see their chemistry on the floor. It jumps off the screen, folks. So this is big time concerning for this Suns team. Chris Paul couldn't do it. Cameron Johnson couldn't do it. Deandre Hunter did it. 23 points, 8 rebounds, shot 78%. But you should have kept going to it. They need to just exploit DeAndre Hunter. Make this man take 25 shots a game. Go on his Joel Embiid. Go on his Giannis and just dominate over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because that's really the only consistent score that we can truly rely on now for the Suns team. DeAndre Hunter, the big in a bigs world. I mean, what's his name? Monty Williams? I don't think it's Monty. I think it may be Monty Williams. The head coach for the Suns, Monty. You've got to just exploit DeAndre, and that's the only course of action until Devin Booker returns. Cameron Johnson's not it. We've seen this 2 games in a row. Nothing good. Who else can we replace? I mean, Cameron Johnson's really... we can't really put Cameron Payne at the 2. He's a more facilitator than scorer. Torrey Craig, once again, a little undersized. We need Cameron Johnson here at the 2. There's really nobody else. Move Mikal Bridges to the 2. Chris Paul at the 1. Mikal Bridges to the 2. Cameron Johnson at the 3. That'd be the only shake up here. There's really no lineup changes that you can make. You just need to change how you go about this offense. Gotta get DeAndre Ayton's numbers way up here. Yeah. Movement, yeah, maybe even do this, folks. Maybe even do this. Chris Paul at the 1, McCall Bridges at the 2, JaVale McGee at the 3. Or maybe move Jay Crowder to the 3 so JaVale McGee can be the 4, DeAndre Ayton the 5. You got to change up something, folks. Cameron Johnson is not Devin Booker. He cannot even fill in and give us levels of resemblance in production. We've seen it, folks. It does not happen. So, not great. Very concerning with the Suns. Now tied 2-2, heading back to Phoenix for Game 5. And the Suns better hope to have the answer because this Pelicans team has some grit. They're the underdogs. They've got no pressure on them at all, where the Suns just have extreme amounts of pressure. Before even Devin Booker went down, you went to the finals last season. We saw what the Heat did when they went to the finals in the bubble. They were absolutely garbage the next season. The Suns, they're the number 1 seed in the second season on the back-to-back. So, yeah, pressure here. Chris Paul, pressure, aging out of this league. Time is ticking, wants to win a ring. Pressure is here, folks, and there's no pressure on the Pelicans. And you got to watch out for a team with no pressure because they can play loosey-goosey. They can play extreme. They can experiment. They can go crazy just shooting threes all game long. Who cares? No pressure on them. So, big time concerns right now on the Suns team. It may be done for the Suns, folks. They may be cooked. They may be done. The sun may have been extinguished, folks. Extinguished. Done. Cold. Prepare for that cold winter. No heat coming. No heat coming to the earth, folks. That's not good. Suns may officially be dead. Not great. Pelicans win, though. Shout out to the Pelicans. They get the win, 118-103. All right, those were the 4 playoff games on last night, but we've got something to talk about, folks. Yes, y'all know what we mean. Yes, folks. Yes, folks. We were right a little bit. Yes, stop it with the Nets. Y'all should have truly stopped it with the Nets. And now y'all want to stop it with the Nets. When it's all doom and gloom, when they're already down 3-0, when Ben Simmons not going to be back for Game 4. Shock face, right? Who could have seen that coming? No Ben Simmons for Game 4. Wow. Once again, the goalpost moves. Once again, Ben Simmons, he's going to be back before the playoffs. Everybody's going to get acclimated with each other. They're going to be, 3 games at the end of the regular season to gel together, right? That didn't happen. Then what was the next goalpost? Oh, Game 1. He's going to be good for Game 1. He's going to be good against the Celtics for Game 1. They'll get it going. They may have a bumpy Game 1 or Game 2, but once the series shifts to Brooklyn, it's all going to be good and dandy. That didn't pan out. The third set of goalpost moves. Hey, Game 4. He'll be good for Game 4. Doesn't matter. Down 3-0. Down 2-1. Doesn't matter. Ben Simmons back for Game 3. And that's when we truly hit our stride. That's what y'all have been waiting for. That's what made the Nets all so scary and terrifying. Ben Simmons coming back for Game 4 to flip it all upside down, topsy-turvy. And what is the newest goalpost? Moved 4 times? Like 4 times over the last month, folks. 4 times in the last month. We can extend it. The goalposts have been moving all season long. Like probably around 10 goalpost movements by Ben Simmons the entire season. We just highlighted the last 4 over the last month, okay? We've been telling y'all, folks. So the newest update on our man, Benny Simmons, folks. Here he is from Woj, truly official. Here it is. The Nets and Ben Simmons expected he would be ready to play on Monday, but after getting on the court yesterday, Simmons says he awoke with back soreness today. In the end, the team and Simmons agreed he will remain out for Game 4. And isn't that funny? Ben Simmons, oh, coach, I woke up with some back soreness today. I can't go. What did we just see last week? What was the piece of propaganda we all saw last week, folks, that truly made everybody, oh, he's good to go. Look at this man working. He's dunking on no contact. Let me see if I can bring up the video very, very quickly here, folks. I didn't have it prepared for the show, but it's in our catalog here, folks. It's in our likes catalogs. Here it is. Come on. Where is Ben Simmons dunking? Where is Ben Simmons dunking? And now he's got back soreness after he just dunked last week. Looked at the camera and said, make sure you get this. Dunked on an empty net. Here it is, April 16th. April 16th, 9 days ago. Ben Simmons dunk at practice. This was supposed to be the propaganda to get everybody on the nets, folks. Once again, folks, the propaganda, the brainwashing. We've been trying to tell y'all. We've been pointing it out every step of the way, and some of y'all still fell for it. That's how powerful brainwashing is, folks. I'm not getting mad at y'all for getting brainwashed. I know what happens. Y'all brainwashed me. Y'all brainwashed me. We were kind of buying into the Nets a little bit. You had us kind of wavering because we were like, because we were doubling down so much on the Celtics. We were like, are we this kind of wrong, quote unquote, wrong in your eyes? Because we were so big on the Celtics. We couldn't be this, quote unquote, this wrong, right? So we bought into the Nets a little bit. But then we finally woke up, because that's how powerful brainwashing is, folks. Everybody's susceptible to it. And once they get you, they got you. You gotta wake back up, folks. And people are starting to wake back up. Thank y'all for doing this. Everybody, I've really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've enjoyed today's coverage on the Nets. Everybody's going at them, and that's exactly what we've been trying to get through to y'all. In that brainwashing, it's thick, it's tough. You gotta keep cracking away at it, chipping away at it. That's why we're here every single day telling you, hey, wake up. Hey, chip away from that brainwashing. Y'all are truly under the spell of all this dunking propaganda, all the brainwashing, everybody betting on the Nets and saying the Nets are going to get to the finals just when Ben Simmons can come back. But Ben Simmons was never coming back, and we knew that. And now we get this. Folks, and this is truly freaking hilarious. This is so funny, folks, because now once Ben Simmons is now officially out, head coach Steve Nash on Ben Simmons says, quote, I wasn't really expecting him to play. Oh, now we get it. I wasn't even expecting him to play. Yeah, I know we said, maybe game 4, maybe be at the start of the playoffs, but really, I wasn't even really expecting him to play. Now we're getting all this when everybody double, triple, quadruple down, dug their heels in, bet the Nets to get to the finals, bet the Nets to win the finals. Do you know how absurd that is, folks? I mean, this is where we truly have to reflect inwards. If you were on the Nets, if you bet the Nets, anything with the Nets that y'all were falling in love with, y'all have to take a little bit of a look inward. It's all right. Everybody gets it wrong sometimes. No big deal. Just don't let it happen again. So everybody that was on the Nets this, Nets that, Nets this, Nets that, Nets. Y'all know about this team in Brooklyn? Oh, this is a good team. I think they're called the Nets or something. They got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. There's a legend that there's a Ben Simmons on that team that's going to kind of resurrect from the grave and come back for the team. Y'all should look at that Brooklyn team. Yeah, Brooklyn. Nets. Nets. Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, you see them? Yeah, bet that team. Everybody that was like that, folks, you got to look inward and say, you got swindled by the brainwashing. And once again, it's okay. That's how powerful brainwashing is. Everybody is susceptible to it, and everybody gets brainwashed here and there. Some people are truly brainwashed, and there's no helping them, but man, oh man, if you fell for the Nets brainwashing, look inward, laugh at yourself a little bit, be like, damn, I really fell for that? It's all right. We can laugh with you. We're not laughing at you, folks. I never laugh at anybody. We're just laughing with you. Isn't that funny? Y'all fell for the Nets brainwashing. We fell for it a little bit. Y'all fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and then just tugged on the pole hey, reel me in. I'm yanking it. The fisherman's like, damn, this is a big fish. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Because you're yanking and pulling down. I'm here. I got the hook, I got the line, I got the sinker. I'm trying to tell y'all I'm here. Fisherman, reel me in. Y'all got a little bit. It's unfortunate, but it's a little funny. It's okay to laugh at yourself. Damn, yeah, I fell for that big old brainwashing Ben Simmons. Look at me falling for Ben Simmons. Of course he wasn't going to play. I knew he was going to play, but I wanted to buy into it. I wanted to believe. It's okay, folks. It's okay. This is a safe space. I know we talk aggressively, here and there. I told y'all I wanted apologies yesterday, but that's fine. Y'all don't have to apologize. I get it. Let's just laugh at it a little bit. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. Once again, this is kind of the big narrative of the year. There's always one big narrative of the year, folks, that we get right and y'all get wrong. And we try to tell y'all are wrong. But once again, y'all fight us on us. Once again, folks, just accept us sometimes here and there. When we truly talk for it like 2 months in a row, that's really when y'all should be listening and maybe a little bit more closely on what we're saying. But we digress on that. But Ben Simmons, folks, come on. Come on. Yes, folks. Yes, let's laugh at ourselves a little bit. So, Steve Nash now saying, I wasn't even really expecting him to play. That is the cherry on top, folks, of this entire Ben Simmons saga that has been going on months on end here. Now, Steve Nash, after all those goalposts, yes, he's going to play here. He's going to play this day. Then he's going to play here. Well, he's definitely going to play here. Oh, no, I know he never played then, but he's definitely going to play here. And now, I wasn't even really expecting him to play. How funny is that? Is Steve Nash, and this could work a couple of ways, folks. Either Steve Nash and everybody in the Nets is a liar. Steve Nash just doesn't even know what's going on his own team, which is definitely could be the case. Steve Nash doesn't hear any information. Steve Nash doesn't talk to any of his players. Steve Nash has no clue what's going on in his organization. So a couple of different ways that it all looks bad on Steve Nash. Steve Nash is not getting out of this scot-free looking good. I know he's trying to now. Oh, yeah, Ben said, we never really expected him. I know we said that, but we never really thought that. So we never even really prepared, or we don't really even care. So, yeah. So it's not looking good for Steve Nash here. Now saying, I wasn't really expecting him to play, and that's exactly what we said, folks. We read that article maybe about a month ago from Woj on ESPN talking about, they only really had they were kind of thinking about 10 to 15 minutes if that was the case. So it wasn't always, when Ben Simmons is going to play. It was always if. And that if, according to Steve Nash, they weren't even really preparing for that if. So we've known that, folks. Once again, the brainwashing, it got y'all. It's okay. But let's quickly go into this new article here, because now this is interesting, because we're getting conflicting information here. So I do want to go in this article just to truly make sure we've got the information. We're all on the same page here, because listen to what this lead-up tweet is of this article by Woj, and then compare that to what we just heard by Steve Nash. So here we go. ESPN story on Ben Simmons reporting back soreness on Sunday, leaving the Nets surprised and disappointed that he won't make his season debut in Game 4. So the Nets are surprised now. Ben Simmons' back soreness is leaving the Nets surprised and disappointed. When we just had Steve Nash say, I wasn't really expecting him. So that's not a surprise if you're not expecting him to play. So who's lying here? Once again, all this junk information, folks. It was all junk information the entire time. The brainwashing was based on junk. This happens all the time, folks. We have to find out ways, and I think I do this pretty good over here, once again, why we still do the show, of, separating the real news, the real information from the junk information. That's why we were never sold on the Nets, folks. But let's see what we get here on what they're saying now on Ben Simmons. What is it now? The last time we kind of read this article, we heard the phrases maybe potentially back for Game 4 for maybe only about 15 minutes. Once again, why we doubled down then, tripled down then, and never getting too big onto the Nets here. So here we go. Let's see who's telling the truth, the Nets or Steve Nash. Who is surprised? Was there any surprise? Or they all know? I think they all knew. But let's see what we get here. Within hours of his planned season debut, the Brooklyn Nets guard Ben Simmons reported a return of back soreness on Sunday, sources told ESPN, and has been ruled out for Monday's Game 4 against the Boston Celtics. After approximately 10 days of pain-free ramp-up following recovery from a herniated disc, Simmons' admission at the team practice facility was met with surprise and disappointment. On the brink of a sweep to the Celtics, the Nets had hoped Simmons would be in uniform and active, with the hope of coach Steve Nash using him in limited minutes, sources said. And that's what's always gotten lost in the sauce here, is that everybody was just expecting Ben Simmons to come out of the floor, be in the starting lineup, mesh and gel exactly perfectly with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And we knew that was never gonna be the case. You know, screw the minutes and who's gonna start and all that. The gel ability was never gonna be there off the rip from game one. It was never, ever gonna be like that. But what got lost in the sauce here is that, hey, he was always gonna be in limited minutes. Nobody ever brought that up when talking about the Nets and how scary they were gonna be. It was always Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. They're going to play flawless basketball when they're on the floor and court together. Now, they may have played flawless, cohesive, gelled together basketball out on the floor when they were all out on the floor together, but it would have only been for about 10 minutes. Is that going to be enough to impact the entire game, which in turn impacts the entire series? 10 to 15 minutes? No, of course not, folks. So this always got lost in it. He was always, if he was able to ever come back, it was always going to be with limited minutes, folks. While Nash and Nets players had publicly said that they were unsure whether Simmons would finally play in Game 4 on Monday, Simmons and the organization had discussed at length a plan for his debut to come on Monday in Game 4 at Barclays Center. Within the organization, Simmons had expressed eagerness and optimism through his ramp-up about the possibility of making his season debut in this series. While Simmons hasn't been able to scrimmage with the Nets starters, see, that's exactly it as well. He was dunking on nobody. We read the article. He was about to ramp up about 5-on-5 full contact, but up until that point of the dunk, it was always 5-on-0 no contact. So once again, there's a huge another step to take. Going out and going against 5v5 in full-fledged form. Full contact, full speed, full game mentality. He never even practiced that. Another reason why were y'all buying into the Nets so much? What else do we get here? And I love this as well. He had 10 days of pain-free ramp-up, and then, now I've got the back pain. So is he lying here? 10 days of back-free pain? That's a long way to go. And then now, 11 days, does that usually happen? I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not going to pretend like I am one, but that doesn't seem right. I go 10 days pain-free, and then the pain comes back day 11? Interesting. A little bit of a lie, a little bit of those butterflies flying around to the back, Ben. Yeah, a lot of pressure on you. Got a little butterflies in the stomach, and then the butterflies, flew out of the stomach. It was like, hey, look at this back. Oh, yeah, we like it back here. Hey, look at the spine. Yeah, y'all flutter on the spine. Y'all ever fluttered on a spine? It's pretty good fluttering on the spine. So the butterflies are on the back. Maybe that's why Ben Simmons felt some pain. It's the butterflies, maybe not really pain. Little butterflies back there. A lot of pressure on you to get it done. Pressure on you to win, turn the whole series around, a lot of pressure on you. Everybody's been talking about you. That's what made the Nets so scary. You alone was going to make this Nets team from bunnies to scary, terrifying it monster coming out of the sewer drain at us. That's what it was supposed to be. But I think the butterflies got the Ben Simmons back a little bit. 10 days pain-free, and then all of a sudden, can't go. Can't go. All right. What else do we get here? Anything else in this article? No. So that's it. Well, let's finish up this last paragraph right here. While Simmons hadn't been able to scrimmage with the Nets starters, there was still some hopes his presence on the court could provide some help to a flailing team and allow Simmons to get back into an NBA game for the first time. A meltdown against the Hawks in the 2021 Eastern Conference Semifinals as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers set into motion a turbulent 10 months of trade requests, mental health issues, and back trouble. So, Ben Simmons not on the floor here. Not going to be out here for game 4. And once again, folks, yes, of course not. Of course this Nets team wasn't going to be good. Of course Ben Simmons was never, ever, ever going to play. And what do we have? Ben Simmons not playing in game 4. But maybe game 5, right? Right? Let's not let this die, right? Let's keep it up with the Nets, yes? I'm surprised y'all are kind of, folding in. Why is nobody sextupling down on the Nets, huh? Why is nobody digging in their heels, digging down sextuply out here, being like, no, watch out for game 5. Nets win game 4. They're still at home. Watch out. The Nets are still at home. That's still scary. Ben Simmons game 5 activated. Ooh, now it's all going to turn around. So I'm impressed by y'all of not doing that. I give y'all some respect, of not sextupling down on the Nets. I'll give y'all that. But y'all just gave up that easy. Everyone's backtracking on the Nets, folks. It's all over the place. Everybody's scolding, truly hot scolding the Nets, folks. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, everybody that was on the Nets, they're all walking it back and being, oh, how dare you, Ben Simmons? How dare you, Kyrie Irving? And all of that, folks. So that's where we are with old Benny boy. And I forgot to, we got this one. Let's talk about this. People involved in Brooklyn are quote unquote exacerbated by Ben Simmons saga. And of course, folks, we've been exacerbated for y'all, and we were never even on the Nets. I'm exacerbated of just kind of gushing over the Celtics every single day. I guess I'm not, because I still love it, and I still love the Celtics, and we'll be betting the Celtics tonight. Maybe some great value if Vegas is still. That's truly going to be kind of the needle on what people are feeling on the Nets. What is Vegas saying about today's game? Are we still getting Celtics +3? I doubt it. Can I still only buy it Celtics -3.5? I hope not. I want that puppy up. I want Celtics -10.5 just to be disrespectful with it. I don't even care if I hit. I'll bet it just to be disrespectful. I'll give Vegas my money for free just so I can be like, yeah, I was disrespectful that time, and I wouldn't even care. I'll take the Celtics -10.5 tonight. Well, -9.5, double-digit win. We won't play around with that. -9.5, 10 or more point win for the Celtics tonight. So, people involved in Brooklyn are exacerbated. And then this is what I forgot to talk about at the end of Game 3 of Celtics Nets. Kyrie Irving says the Celtics have been, quote unquote, gelling since Christmas, and the Nets are, quote, in a new experience as a group, and we just have to respect that. Oh, now you want to respect that. After you're getting that ass whooped down 0-3, now you want to respect that. Respect what it means to play as a team. Now you want to respect it. Okay, Kyrie, once again, hypocrite. This is why we say the same things over and over again by Kyrie. This is why he never phases us. This is why I don't kind of give into y'all's brainwashing in Kyrie, because he's the same person. We know Kyrie the person, folks, and I'm not the biggest fan of Kyrie the person. Kyrie the basketball player, yeah, the man's great, absolutely. But his personality, it does turn off a lot of people, and I understand exactly why, and it turns me off as well. So now, now y'all want to take the team factor and a team sport into consideration when kind of talking about who's good and who's not bad. Oh, Kyrie, yeah, of course we're not going to be good. We're not gelled together. We've barely played together. The Celtics have been gelling together all year long. Yeah, and you are a little bit of a part of the problem on that. Now, I don't disagree with why he did it. You know the whole no COVID shot. Absolutely, stand your ground. Whatever you truly believe in. I'm not going to use that against him. A lot of people have been. Stephen A. has been using that against him. I'm not going to use that against him. But yeah, of course, having experience, having cohesiveness, having that chemistry on the floor makes you a better team. Of course. Another reason why we never bet the Nets, and that's what we said. You think it's all just going to gel together once Ben Simmons gets out on the floor? No, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving aren't even gelling together. And they're friends, and they like each other, and they have the same mindset, and they're both great, phenomenal basketball players that have great rings to their name and clutch shots and big games for rings in their career. They both have that, but it never really gelled together with them. So now you think adding a third player with Ben Simmons who can't shoot, you don't think the frustration levels are going to be rising with Ben Simmons? Of course they were, folks. Of course this was never going to work, and we're seeing it here every single day. And that leads us to today, folks. That leads us to today when we get Celtics at the Nets, game 4. So now let's shift gears and start breaking down the 3 playoff games today, because we are dwindling down multiple 3. We'll never have 4-day games again. 3-day games are going to be dwindling throughout the week when teams are wrapping up their series and all that. So once again, just get prepared for it. It's a really bad time of the year. It sends me into a depression when I don't have multiple basketball games on every single day to watch. It gets depressing, folks, so gear up, be prepared for that. It is coming. But we don't have to think about that right now, because today there's 3 games on, and I believe tomorrow there's also 3 games on. Yes, we got at least 2 more days. Let me quickly see. What do we got tomorrow? I think we got 3 games tomorrow. Nobody's wrapped up series. Oh yeah, we've got 3 games tomorrow. 3 games tomorrow. Potentially still 3 games on Wednesday as well, if nobody wraps up a series. But we digress. So let's still revel in these next 2 days, folks. Yes. So here we go. Let's start breaking down the value. Where is the value? We took a little bit of a hit. Our first hit of the official playoffs. We went 2-2. We've always been going 3-1 or 2-1, depending if there's 3 or 4 games on. But yesterday got a little the worst that we've done in the playoffs so far, 2-2. So let's get back on track, 2-1. But let's get that coveted 3-0, folks. So here we go. First game on tonight, and it's the best game, folks. It's the best game. And you see how this works now? They put the Celtics in the primetime spot for game 3, because that was supposed to be the big turnaround. And now for game 4, just put them at the front. We're done. Let's get the series over with, okay? Not really kind of the primetime spot, I guess. 7 o'clock? It's on TV. I guess it is not the NBA TV game, so I guess it still gives a little respect, because you got to respect the Celtics. But let's digress a little bit. Here we go. First game up, Celtics at the Nets. What is the spread? Are we still getting Celtics +3, folks? Now, Vegas will truly be blind and deaf if it's still Celtics +3, but we can still hold out a little bit of hope, right, for that great value. So here we go. Celtics at the Nets. Well, it's still something, folks. Celtics +1, Nets -1, and man, oh man, Vegas still a little bit blind and tone deaf out here. A little bit. To still be +1, come on. Let's do better than this. I'm not taking Celtics +1. That's too easy, folks. Come on. What are you, crazy? Game lines. What's the max? Celtics -6. Thank you. That's our new spread. Celtics -6. Put 10 grand on it right now. $10,000. And that pays us 28 grand. Yes, sir. 10 grand to win 28. Yes, sir. We'll take that. Celtics -6. The series is done today, folks. The series is closed tonight for the Celtics. Everybody's good to go. Robert Williams in game 4 already shaking off the dust because he played in game 3. Ben Simmons doesn't even think about that. Doesn't even think about potentially, maybe, possibly shaking up the dust. No. So Robert Williams, expect more impact. Expect a more workload. Probably still coming off the bench, but maybe his minutes increasing a little bit. Expect that, folks. So everybody's going to go for the Celtics. And then for the Nets, oh, wow, big surprise. Wow, did you hear about this, folks? Ben Simmons is out. Whoa, wow. He was supposed to be back today, right? Game 4. Today's game 4, right? Game 4, not back? Wow. Interesting. So, of course not, folks. Stop it with the Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they're phoning it in. No Ben Simmons is a little bit of a foreshadow of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving phoning it in, mailing it in. We'll probably see that on the floor tonight. Steve Nash, oh yeah, he wasn't really going to play, so okay, Steve, whatever you say. So Steve Nash, there's going to be no urgency tonight, folks. There's going to be no urgency. They're not even talking about Ben Simmons maybe coming back for Game 5. They're just saying Ben Simmons is out for Game 4. Well, what about Game 5? Can he come back for Game 5 if you win? Why is there no pressure here? Why is there no urgency building around the Nets? Why is Steve Nash not coming out and saying, or why is Steve Nash not saying, hey, Ben Simmons for Game 5 instead of, hey, we knew, I always knew. I know the Nets were saying, but Steve Nash, always knew he wasn't going to play this year. So what is up? What is up? Why not build the urgency? What do you have to lose? I don't understand. The Nets are all just mailing it in. Kyrie Irving at the press conference after Game 3. Yeah, well, we just can't gel. We're just not gelling, and the Celtics are gelled. So what do you expect us to do? I don't know. Y'all were talking that big game, that big-ish, start of the series. Down 0-1, still talking. Down 0-2, still talking. But now down 0-3, now you want to talk? Now, it's woe is Kyrie. It's woe is the Nets. Yes. Enough. It's the same thing every single day with Kyrie, every single year. The season arc, it always plays out the same with Kyrie Irving. We know this about the man. So, they're all mailing it in. They're all phoning it in. They're done. No Ben Simmons, even in Game 5. Nobody's even talking about if maybe even in Game 5, if they can pull out the Game 4 win. Done with the Nets. We've been done with the Nets. It's all about the Celtics. We've always known that. Celtics -6. I don't care about the +1. I'm not getting any points here. Celtics win by double digits. It's the most that we can bet here, folks. Celtics -6. I did it in Game 3. Celtics -3.5. And that was at +190. Losing some value here. Have to swallow more points and losing value. This is only +185, folks. This ain't no +190 at -3.5. +185 at Celtics -6. How a little unfortunate, but we're still betting it because I have no doubt the Celtics, they'll be feeding off of all this. You don't think the Celtics are watching, the Sports Center right now? All the talking heads, sports-wise, you don't think they're watching that and just laughing? Just absolutely giant smirks on their face, folks. Laughing. I tweeted out the Squidward Laughing Gif, and this is probably my favorite GIF to show. I love this GIF because it's so disrespectful. This one GIF is so disrespectful, folks, and I love it. Once again, the respectful disrespect. Once again, I disrespect you respectfully, absolutely. But it's this GIF right here. Squidward just eyes bulging out of his head. We see the veins popping out of his skull. Tears endlessly coming out of his eyes. Look at how open, agape his mouth is. Tongue fully erect, sticking out of his mouth, folks. This is the ultimate disrespect laughing GIF. I love using it, and I used it about Ben Simmons yesterday when we heard he was not good to go. This is what all the Celtics players are doing right now. Crying, laughing, uncontrollably, laughing, dying. Because it's so gosh darn funny, folks. It's so gosh darn funny. 3 straight months of Celtics this, Celtics that. Watch out for the Celtics. Celtics at the finals. Celtics out of the East. Stop it with the Celtics. Are we fine? I cannot wait because tonight it really should be done. The series should be done, and tomorrow on the show, we should be able to officially announce it is done. We are officially all done with the Nets. We have to wait till the series is officially wrapped up because I know some of y'all are still clinging to the Nets. Some of y'all are still going to be clinging there. But I cannot wait for it to officially be, can we stop it with the Nets? Because there's nothing more left to do with the Nets. So stop it with the Nets, folks. We've been trying to tell y'all. So, Celtics -6, absolutely no debate. They will go out and get it done tonight to wrap up the series. All right, then we get the next game up here. Wow, what a big spread this is, and we understand why. No Fred VanVleet tonight, folks. Fred VanVleet with the hip says he will not be playing in Game 5 against the Sixers. And they need him, folks. Once again, we need the 76ers and the Raptors. They're only as good as their starting lineup. Once one person goes out, we know the winner of the game. Right then and there, it's worked out for games 1 through 3. We hit Game 4 because we believed in the Raptors winning because they have too much pride to get swept. But now back in Philadelphia, don't think it's going to happen here. Raptors +8, 76ers -8. All right, for the Raptors, Fred VanVleet is out, but Scotty Barnes will be out there on the floor, and we'll see if he's able to kind of give us that great level of production that usually Fred VanVleet gives us. And then for the 76ers, everybody's good to go. We know Joel Embiid a little banged up, but 76ers at home, roaring crowd, rocking crowd. Joel Embiid was still able to get some decent burn in Game 3. Let me bring up his stats quickly. I think he still had like 18 points, no? A little light on what we're used to, but Joel Embiid, 21 points, 8 rebounds, still pretty good, absolutely. James Harden at home, Tyrese Maxey at home, that home energy, I think it's just going to be too much for this Raptors team to overcome. Don't love swallowing 8 points here with the 76ers, but I think the series is over. We'll swallow 8 here. How crazy is that, folks? We can take only Celtics -6, but the main base spread for the 76ers is 76ers -8. Once again, Vegas just truly being disrespectful to the Celtics. Still, when we've all kind of collectively said the Nets are truly done, yes, we should all be on the same page now. Damn y'all for extending it one more day, but I guess we can still wait, folks. One more day. What's one more day? So 76ers -8, we will take that. And then here we go, and damn, all right, I thought we were going to get better value, but all right, not too much to swallow here. Final game of the night, Jazz at the Mavericks, series tied 2-2, Jazz +3, Mavericks -3, and of course, we're swallowing the 3 here. Was still kind of clinging on to hope that we were going to get 1, 2, 3 points with the Mavericks, but Vegas is respecting the Mavericks, so I guess they're respecting something. I guess we give them credit for that. But for the Jazz, everybody's good to go. For the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. is still out, but Frank Nicotina is potentially a game-time decision. So, usual suspects out for both teams out here. Luka Doncic back. Luka Doncic at home. Mavs series tied. They know they're winning this series. Mavs -3. Once again, Rudy Gobert cannot guard the perimeter, and it's not going to all magically change because he had a game-winning shot that tied the series 2-2 for the Jazz to finally not blow a lead. It's not all just going to be, magic wand waved over. All right, Rudy Gobert, you are not an excellent perimeter defender. It's not going to happen, folks. Mavericks at home, that rocking, roaring crowd. Series tied, now a best of 3. 2 at Mavericks, 1 in Utah. Got to win 2. Mavericks have 2 home games, folks. Jazz blows leads. It writes itself, folks. We know this. Mavericks -3, easy peasy. Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, all getting it done. And the Jazz, who are just so reliant on Donovan Mitchell and and Rudy Gobert just to do it all. They've got no help by everybody else, while the Mavericks are deep dish pizza, folks. Mavericks -3, easy peasy. So, this is what we're rocking with tonight, folks. We're going Celtics -6, 76ers -8, and the Mavericks -3 tonight. Feeling great. The Celtics, I really hope they complete the sweep, folks, because this will truly be the cherry on top. The Nets would be the only team swept in the first round of the playoffs, who y'all told were going to win the finals, get to the finals, be such a scary team. They're the only teams that get swept. They would be the only team that gets swept, and that would just make me feel warm inside, folks. I would be smiling. I will be smiling. I'm going to give you all a little bit of an insight. I'll be watching the game here tonight, obviously, but I will just be smirking, folks. I'll be smirking. As we're talking about kind of our favorite disrespectful gifs, this is kind of the other one I love right here. The Squidward is number 1, but a close number 2 is this one right here, folks. The Grinch smirk. The Grinch smirk as it keeps growing and his head concaves into his head kind of goes down a little bit, and the ears form and roll out. I love this. I love this smiling gif. Yes, this will be me smiling once the Nets get swept tonight against the great Boston Celtics. So this is going to be me after the final buzzer, folks, once the Celtics win. Just grinning the most I can. Look at that. Devilish. Oof. You know something's cooking in this man's mind when he's smiling, smirking like this. Jeez. So, cannot wait for all this tonight, folks. It's going to be great. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. So now let's shift gears to the NFL, where we got some stories to go over. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get to Kenny Pickett, but what we're probably going to do, folks, we will do a live draft show. It's really, we'll probably talk about the players as the draft happens, as your team gets the pick. We'll be like, hey, is this man good or not? Or we'll do it after the draft. After all the draft is wrapped up, then we'll go and kind of break down the draft prospects and see who kind of got good talent and see who didn't. But we will still try to focus on draft prospects a little bit. We'll just see in what kind of how they work their way onto the show. But we will still try to watch some sort of draft prospects here. But, 4 days from the draft, not going to be able to squeeze one in today. The next 2 weeks, once again, some news over here, but we digress on that. But we will still try to squeeze in Kenny Pickett before the draft and all the draft players, maybe on draft day or after the draft. We will still try to squeeze those players in. But let's talk about what else is happening in the NFL world. We know the draft is this week, big time. It's going to take up a lot of time. It's going to take up a lot of talk in the national media. We get it. But there is still some other news happening. So let's see what is on tap here in the NFL. Let's stick with the draft. I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself here. But this is from Adam Schefter, and we have to keep this in mind, folks. Once again, not hearing a lot. We haven't really heard. Is that fair to say? We haven't really heard a lot about this draft. This draft hasn't really kind of been pushed down our throats or kind of like advertised as heavily as like previous drafts. Am I kind of outside of my thinking on this one, or are we all kind of, yeah, that's kind of how we all feel a little bit? And I would say that's probably because of the quarterbacks. Obviously, the quarterback's the biggest name, the one that probably makes the most impact, the one that draws the most buzz because, quarterback is kind of the team in a sense. So let's all keep this in mind, folks, because this may not be that great of a draft class overall, because we get this by Adam Schefter this morning. Within the past week, as the draft has drawn closer, multiple teams in the top half of the draft have inquired with others to try and trade back in the first round. So far, the interest in moving back in Thursday's draft has greatly exceeded the interest in moving up. So people want to move back. Nobody really wants to move up in this year's draft class. There's no big name that everybody's kind of drooling over for, really at kind of any position. I think maybe wide receiver, edge rusher is probably the biggest, offensive lineman. That's kind of going to be kind of the three biggest positions taken in this year's draft class. So we'll keep this in mind, and also keep this in mind. There's a lot of talk this week because everyone's trying to get in everybody's head. Everybody's trying to play big brain chess, 4D chess, big brain IQ. Everyone's trying to get the leg up on their competition. This is still a competition. Yes, it's like owners going against owners and general managers going against general managers, but this is kind of like their Super Bowl. They don't ever get to play any down in the NFL. This is how they win. Outsmarting, brainwashing. If y'all were owners, y'all would be taking like Malik Willis with like the number 1 overall pick, even if you didn't need a quarterback. Like y'all are susceptible to the brainwashing. We've already proven that, but this is what they like to do. Hey, I throw out this story. Who's gonna take this story? Hook, line, and sinker. Like y'all took the net story, pulling on the fishing rod. Reel me in, please. I believe you. Reel me in. I love it. So watch out. A lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation being thrown around this week. So let's all be on high alert. Yes, I need a yes on this one, folks, because y'all weren't on high alert with that whole Nets ordeal. All right, I truly need y'all to not be falling for the misinformation this week. Okay. All right, I'm going to trust y'all now, all right? Do not let me down. Don't tell me like, oh my goodness, the Dolphins are going to be choosing Malik Willis. Well, y'all stop, please, on that, all right? No, of course not. Tua's the guy. We've all known this. Stop it. But let's see. Let's see what happens this week. So here we go. Some more news. We get the Panthers are not expected to trade for Baker Mayfield before the first round of the draft, if at all. So it's pretty funny here. Matt Rule is so kind of, so great at judging quarterback talent that he's not even going to take a chance on Baker Mayfield. He's still going to take a chance with Sam Darnold and maybe Cam Newton. These are the quarterbacks that Matt Rule would take a chance on, but not Baker Mayfield. I don't think Baker Mayfield is great, but I tell you, I take Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold, and I take Baker Mayfield over Cam Newton right now. Absolutely. I don't even think there's a debate on my side on that. But Matt Rule, no, the Panthers are doing nothing with Baker Mayfield, kind of ruling that out. All right, this is who you rule out. Still take Cam Newton, still trade for Sam Darnold, okay, but you don't trust Baker Mayfield? All right, once again, I need y'all to stop it, folks. I think I've earned a little credit here. If you want to judge me by my past, that's fine, but I've earned the credit to y'all to be like, hey, stop it with the Panthers and Cowboys. These are the ones y'all should be getting in on. Yes, we just proved you 2 straight months on the Celtics. Yes, let's come on our side a little bit on the Cowboys and the Panthers. These are not good teams. Let's fall off of them now. Yes, folks. So y'all don't have egg brainwashed on your face come middle point of the season when the Cowboys aren't good and we have to be like, hey, these were the brainwashing tactics y'all fell for. Yes. So come on, folks. Let's look a little inward here. Let's all self-reflect if you got by the Nets. Yes. You don't have to take it personally. We won't kind of knock you too hard and, laugh at you. We'll laugh with you. We won't laugh at you. It's a safe place over here at Takes by Fans, all right? We hear everything. We change our opinions based on information. Yes, it's okay on this side. We should all be changing our views if new information presents itself. I think that's fine to do, and that's what we do over here. When presented with new information, we change our narratives based on what that information tells us, folks. Yes, that's the motto of the show. Sports narratives get clearer every day. We adjust accordingly. It's okay to don't let all these people on Twitter be like, hey, you need to stick to this take. You had this take 10 years ago. Why are you changing that take now? It's like, well, yeah, because it's 10 years. It's a 10-year-old take. We've adjusted. We've seen everything happen. It changes. It's okay. Don't get planted in your takes, all right? Don't go, change take every single day to the extremes. Absolutely not. But, little change here. Let me look this way. Let me change my degree 35 angles. Okay, I see it now. Okay, that's the bigger pay. Okay, I get it now. New information, new data. Oh, Baker Mayfield couldn't be good 2 years in a row. Okay, so Baker Mayfield is not as good as we thought in 2020. Okay, now we know. We had the second year with it. We get it now. Okay, yes. It's okay. It's a safe space over here, folks. It's all Smurfy over here. Yes. So, stop it with the Panthers. Matt Rule would be lucky to have Baker Mayfield, lucky to have like a stable, good, potentially proven, winnable quarterback besides Sam Darnold, who cannot throw more than 60% in a season. At least Baker Mayfield can do that, and he's shown he can do that multiple years in a row, where Sam Darnold cannot even do that for like one full year. So it's just so funny that the Panthers are like, oh no, we'll never get Baker Mayfield. We're really ruling that out. But yeah, Sam Darnold may be our quarterback this season. Oh, okay, all right. Stop it with the Browns. They don't know what they're doing over there. And now this may be a potential misinformation, folks, because this just kind of came about, and I don't really know if this is the route they're going to be going, but this is some news here. Take it with a big old grain of salt this week. Steelers and the Saints are both likely to pick a quarterback in the first round. Now, we saw the Steelers get Mitch Trubisky. We know Mitch Trubisky isn't probably going to be the guy, but maybe a bridge quarterback this year. And then the Saints still rocking with Jameis Winston, saying, hey, Taysom Hill's going to be our tight end. Got rid of Trevor Siemian, so kind of doubling down on Jameis Winston a little bit. So I don't know if that's the direction these teams are going to be heading in. I think the Steelers and the Saints aren't in this total rebuild scenario where they would go out and draft a quarterback. If the Steelers and Saints were to get a quarterback, I think they go backup route and bring in maybe like a Gardner Minshew. All these teams that want a quarterback and are so kind of, inclined of drafting one, I think they're still overlooking Gardner Minshew. I would start Gardner Minshew over any other quarterback in this year's draft class. This is not a great quarterback draft class, and you could probably maybe get Gardner Minshew for not that much, depending on how smart Nick Sirianni is, which he is pretty smart so far, so maybe it will cost you something. But he's a great backup quarterback, and Nick Sirianni has said that, hey, this is a valuable asset to our team of having a very good backup quarterback in case anything goes wrong. We know Gardner Minshew is not competing for that job. It's Jalen Hurts' job, but Nick Sirianni has expressed, hey, I kind of want a good backup quarterback here. So watch out for that. So the Saints and the Steelers here, both potentially looking at quarterback. I think you just have to look at Gardner Minshew. Look at the backup role. I don't think these rookie quarterbacks are going to do anything here. So that's the newest information we got per Pro Football Network. We'll see, what they've got. But once again, a lot of misinformation being thrown around here. A lot of people eating up the brainwashing and the rumors. So I don't know how much I believe in this Steelers Saints drafting a quarterback in the first round. So we'll see how all that plays out. All right, and then we get Deebo Samuel news, and this video's been posted around this weekend. It's a party in San Francisco, and they're bringing out the bottles and the signs, how clubs do, and the sign says Deebo Samuel is staying, hashtag 49ers, and then you see Deebo Samuel in the cut, kind of going like, nah, dog, that's not happening. So it's just so interesting, folks. How interesting is it that everybody wants to leave the 49ers? They're always good, they're always competitive, they're winning, they're, one of the teams that always gets talked about. It's a historic team, but everybody wants to leave them. Why? It's real interesting. Is Kyle Shanahan not running it? I think Kyle Shanahan wants to win with no great certified talent, so everybody kind of praises him. Praises Kyle Shanahan for winning. I think a little of this is with Kyle Shanahan rubbing some of these players the wrong way. There'd be why force out Jimmy Garoppolo? Why is Deebo Samuel wanting to leave when he just kind of emerged onto the scene? Deebo Samuel's been getting all the play in the limelight, in the public media, but he wants to leave and go somewhere else. I just think it's weird, folks. This whole 49ers thing with the Jimmy Garoppolo, now with Deebo Samuel, it's all just kind of rubbing me the wrong way. Like something like is going to kind of just like, not like come out, but things are going to kind of like be said maybe 5 years down the line of being like, yeah, like that locker room, it just wasn't about winning. It was more about ego or something like that. So I don't know if that's totally the case, but just I don't understand why people would want to leave the 49ers, leave San Francisco when they always have success, when they have a quarterback. The only times they haven't had success over the last 4 years is when Jimmy Garoppolo went down with an injury. Then it all collapsed on itself. But the defense is always great. The offense is always productive. They're always getting into the playoffs when they have a healthy starting quarterback. But everybody just wants to leave. It's just weird, folks. It's weird. That's all I'm saying, folks. It's honestly just a feeling. I felt like this ever since the initial rumors about Deebo Samuel leaving. But now, I mean, this is like concrete proof, folks. I mean, like, this man is gone. Like, donezo. Like, 100% confirmed. Deebo Samuel will not be a 49er next year. And it's just interesting. Like the teams, like the Jets are kind of like the front runner. Like that's kind of like what's being said so far. The Jets would be the front runner. Like Deebo Samuel would rather play with the Jets than the 49ers. Like that's crazy, folks. Like we have to understand why that is happening. Why a player that has immediately bursted onto the scene wanting to go and maybe fade into oblivion in New York. I just don't get it, folks. It's not adding up to me. It's tickling my fancy the wrong way, if you will, folks. I'm just not getting it with Deebo Samuel and this whole 49ers thing. So, once again, this is still a little early in the offseason. Still a ton more to go. And we'll see what they do in the draft, what they do with Deebo Samuel, what they get out of him. So watch for Deebo Samuel to potentially be traded draft night. Same thing for Baker Mayfield as well. Watch for these two players to be the highlight of this year's draft because once again, everybody's trying to trade back in this year's draft. No great jump off the page, jump off the screen, immediate impact talent in this year's draft. So draft night should be totally interesting. And this 49ers, I don't even know what we call it. Exodus? Everybody just leaving? I think it's real interesting, folks. So we'll see something's going to happen. Something's going to happen with this 49ers team, folks. We got to be prepared. So Deebo Samuel, most likely 100% leaving 49ers, and it's just real interesting to us, folks. All right, and then we get this, and this is so funny, and I'm glad this was being said, but there's a little report going around by CBS Sports that they're calling Carson Wentz a bridge quarterback, and of course, because he obviously can't get it done. You were set up for success with the Colts, and you absolutely floundered, so we know you can't get it done. You will never be able to kind of get the most out of yourself to step up for 1 year to get the highest level of play for the team. So he's obviously not the number one. You can't coach him like a number one. He's a bridge quarterback, and that's what the Commanders are kind of using him for. So I don't get it. I would have, if you're going to rock with like a bridge quarterback, give me Taylor Heineke. I mean, Carson Wentz has proven he's not that gamer. At least we've gotten a little out of that by Taylor Heineke. We saw a little gamer-ish in the playoff game against the Bucs. It didn't show that true gamer side this season, but if I get two guys not showing their gamer side, well, yeah, let me go to the one that's only played a year and a half, a year and one game. Yeah, let me go with him. Give him a second year. I don't know if I go with Carson Wentz. So, Washington, I don't like the direction they're heading in. We don't like Carson Wentz. I do think he's not going to gel well at all with the head coach, Ron Rivera. I do not see their personalities clashing or gelling together at all. I see them clashing. So I don't think it's working out here for Washington, and they're using Carson Wentz as a bridge quarterback. So to throw off the rhythm of the team for 1 year for a bridge quarterback, just stay with Taylor Heineke or draft a quarterback. Who cares? Anything's better than Carson Wentz. So once again, these teams just not doing the right thing. I just don't get it. They must not listen to the show, I guess. So Carson Wentz is a bridge quarterback. It's just so funny that he's kind of being called that. Yes. And then anything else here? May have to get out of here for today. We are going to get out of here for today, folks. Some stories coming up tomorrow. Nothing big urgency-wise, but general manager for the Jets, Joe Douglas, is encouraged by Zach Wilson's resilience, saying, quote, I 100% see greatness. All right, that's pretty good. Kind of what you want to, be hearing about your franchise guy. So we'll get into that maybe on tomorrow's show. And then we get this one coming up as well. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott pumped to be healthy entering off-season workouts. So yeah, that's something that is different from this season to last season. He was not healthy entering last season, missed some OTAs. We saw him in training camp on Hard Knocks, not really kind of 100% off the rip. But this season, he's 100% healthy, and Dak Prescott is going to have a great, tremendous season if the Cowboys want to not go 3-14 or 4-13 or 5-12, which are all not good records. So we'll look into this article, see if we can find any silver lining, bright spot on the Cowboys. We've gone in hard on the Cowboys all this offseason, for rightful reasons. Once again, we don't do anything for no reason at all, but we see this Cowboys team not being good, but Dak Prescott is the one that could turn this team around. So we'll look in this article to see if there's any bright spot that we can give this Cowboys team to maybe upgrade their wins to 6 now. Can we go to 6? We're at 4 right now. We're at 4. I think I'm locking in it at 4. 3's a little crazy just because of the division. You could probably beat the Washington twice. You could maybe beat the Giants once. I don't know if you beat the Eagles at all. So I think I'm going to 4 games. But I think we're pretty locked in at 4. But we'll see if Dak Prescott gives us any confidence to upgrade to 5, maybe 6 games. But we're going 4-13. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, doing it all again, potentially getting to Kenny Pickett, and finally putting the Nets to rest. It's going to be fun. It's going to be finally... it's going to be 3 months overdue that we can finally be 100% done with the Nets. I need y'all to truly be 100% done with the Nets, and hopefully y'all give me like a week at that before y'all talk about the Nets next season, and we have to get into that. So if y'all give me just at least 1 week of a break with the Nets, please, that's all I'm asking for at minimum, 1 week. It should be the entire offseason, but I know y'all won't let that happen, but 1 week I'm asking. So hopefully tonight's the last night of the Nets. Celtics official sweep tonight. That's what we are rooting for today. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, doing it all over again. And when it's time, folks, it's time. The Nets, their time is ringing. Their time is coming. Yes. Let's all move on. Yes. Thank y'all. We told y'all. Y'all were wrong, but it's okay. Stop it with the Nets. Final time. Come around. Finally. Don't hang on to that last thread for Game 4. Yes. Thank you. All right, folks, we're out of here. Have a great one. Win a little bit of money tonight. Feeling good about it. Celtics -6, folks. Absolutely.